especially just northwest of there. That line's going to eventually cruise through. So that comes in the next 10 minutes in Georgetown. Midway, it's pretty much on top of you, and then ends up around Ewalt and Broadwell within the next half hour or so. So that's another one we're watching. Sadieville, you could get clipped by that as well. You were just recently clipped by another one north of Cynthiana now. That one's also producing some heavy rain, but that's about it. So nothing severe in the northern half of the area right now. As we go through the next several hours, we could still see more of these popping up. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in place. That's why so many of these have kind of popped up over the last couple of hours or so. Notice this has expanded a little to the east from earlier as well. So pretty much the entire viewing area, with the exception of areas close to Ashland, you are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock this evening. So that means we have a few more hours of this before things start to weaken. As we approach sunset, we'll start to lose some of that energy that is providing these thunderstorms the energy they need to sustain themselves. And we have some mid and upper level wind support that can help to twist these around a little bit, get them moving. Occasionally they rotate, and those can sometimes produce those signatures on the radar we see that tell us there's a potential for some sort of a tornado warning to pop up. So that's why we only have the one right now. You can see Futurecast gets all this out of here later tonight. So that's the good news. As we go through the night, these are going to disappear, with the exception of a couple of showers and thunderstorms that would likely be sub-severe later tonight. So in the meantime, we do have a handful of severe storms, mainly across the southern half of our area. Let's go back to our tornado warning, which is in effect for another 13 minutes or so, unless they extend it. This is near Monticello, southwest of Mill Springs, east of Cumberland City, and this goes until 5:45. So it's only in Wayne County as of right now, moving to the east-northeast at I'm guessing, what, 30 miles per hour or so?
It's about 45 miles an hour.
Okay, so they've picked up a little bit of steam since some of the storms we were tracking earlier. About 45 miles per hour on that one. So it ends up in Monticello. Pretty much right now it's on top of you. Betsy 540, Delta 548, Burnside 551, Alpine about 558 or so. So this storm, it's showing signs of rotation. We've seen that. That tells us it could drop a tornado. Again, we're only seeing the rotation on the radar. We have not confirmed anything beyond that. Let's back it up a little bit, see if it's how much it's changed over the life cycle of this warning. And you can see it looked a little more impressive earlier, but there is still some rotation. We've kind of bounced back and forth between a couple of different radar sites here. And so either way you look at it, there's definitely still some rotation there. But having said that, the area of rotation is pretty much on top of Monticello right now. It's moving to the east-northeast, as we mentioned, at 45 miles per hour or so. The hail size could be a little bit bigger than a quarter, about 1¼ inches in diameter. That's a secondary threat, and I suspect we could get 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts out of this particular cell as well, as it does work its way across the area. So this is the kind of thing we'll have to watch for with any of these severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in place. Over the next several hours, we may be dealing with a little bit more of this activity. Certainly with that watch in place, we know that conditions are favorable for that kind of development. So I think the most common thing you're going to see is what we've seen when we've scanned most of these storms: 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, hail that's around 1 inch in diameter, about the size of a quarter, maybe slightly higher in some instances, like this particular one. Again, this is a rotating storm, so this tends to produce larger hail than some of the other cells that we've seen. But again, with any of these, they have the potential to rotate. We have enough wind energy to give us that kind of a setup. And that's why we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in place right now. So a lot of lightning within these as well. You can see east of Corbin, there's I-75, there's London. This is all just to your southeast. If you're looking out your window to the southeast, say from London, you're probably going to see some of those darker clouds associated with the cell. You look to the north, you're going to see something very similar. So that's one that's in place for another 15 minutes or so. We have a couple of them in place right now. This is the one for Bell, Clay, Harlan, and Leslie counties. That's until 5:45. That one was kind of jumping out on the radar at us. That is actually probably one of the stronger cells. That's getting close to Pine Mountain, south of Cutchin on that particular cell. So again, 1-inch diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, both a possibility with this particular cell over the next, let's say, 15 minutes or so. It actually expires in 10 minutes from right now. So that's one of several cells across the area. We will continue to watch these move across. Here's the one near Mount Vernon. Again, this is for Jackson, Laurel, and Rockcastle counties south of Berea, where we see the strongest cell. It's actually closer to Livingston, where we're probably seeing some of that potentially 1-inch diameter hail just east of Mount Vernon, north of Livingston. That's probably where you could see hail size approaching the size of a quarter or so. That'll push east as we move through the next several minutes or so. So still watching the northern part of the area to see if anything strengthens. The one moving into Georgetown is going to pack a little bit of a punch, but we're not quite hitting severe criteria, meaning the winds are staying under 58 miles per hour and the hail diameter is under 1 inch. So it doesn't mean it couldn't still do some damage. I certainly would want you to be indoors, or anybody you know indoors right now. If you're around Georgetown, if you're in Midway, stamping ground all close to that cell there. And that's moving to the east-northeast. Eventually, it may end up in Cynthiana. It may graze Sadieville or areas just south of there as well. So that's also going to cross the I-75 corridor. It's obviously moving over I-64 in areas to the north of there as of right now, approaching the Georgetown area. So not severe yet, but we're watching that one to see if it strengthens like the ones to the south have done. So this is all coming in ahead of a cold front, which will eventually stall out across our area a little bit later tonight into tomorrow. And with that front being around, we're likely to see more moisture around tomorrow as well, giving us a few showers. However, I don't think we're going to see the instability that we've seen today. So the severe threat looks a lot lower for tomorrow. As far as that goes, that's at least some good news there. And this is also not a threat that will continue all night long. Yes, we will keep some rain around. You can see it on Futurecast here. The rain is around for several hours through this evening, but it weakens pretty quickly once we get closer to sunset, as we lose some of that energy we need to keep these storms going and to keep them strong. So that's good news. The worst kind of severe weather is the kind that happens while you're trying to sleep, and that is not the setup we have for tonight. So that certainly is good news. As you see, as we go into tomorrow, you're going to see some scattered showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms later in the day. You see there's a preference east of I-75. It doesn't mean you won't see
Come on, WKYT.
Into Leslie County.
There it goes.
Severe thunderstorm warning into Jackson County, into Rockcastle County, far northern parts of Laurel County, far southeastern parts of Laurel County, a small part of Clay County, small part of northeastern Whitley County, northern half of Knox County, Pulaski County into Wayne County severe thunderstorm warning, and then that one lone tornado warning that continues in effect. The severe thunderstorm watch, by the way, is pushed all the way now into southeastern Kentucky. Stands to reason they're the area getting in on the worst of the weather as of right now. This goes until 8 o'clock this evening. Not sure the northern and western side of that will fully extend all the way until 8 o'clock, but I do expect that across the south and the southeast. You look at the broad view of your first alert radar network right now. Thunderstorms here into the Louisville area toward the Bluegrass region, nowhere near as strong. And now we just got our tornado warning extended into a part of Pulaski County as well. So northern parts of McCreary County, parts of Pulaski County, and then into Wayne County with this tornado warning that was just extended into this part of the region. So let's reset everything one more time. Let's get you the information on this. So your tornado warning, in effect, McCreary, Pulaski, and Wayne, that's going to go until 6:15. This gets right up to Somerset in Pulaski County. But that is the new tornado warning that is out. Monticello, Mill Springs, and farther to the northeast from there. So our storm, the worst of the storm, continues to work its way just to the north of downtown Monticello, Eadsville, Steubenville, up toward Mill Springs. That is rolling into your particular area. And as the storm moves, you see me, I got to move everything to show you guys as well on what we're dealing with in terms of this fast-moving storm that continues to race off to the northeast. So I look at this, and I'm still saying that the rotation with this is nowhere near as stout as what we had a little bit ago. Yes, there may be just a little bit of spin that is showing up here into northern parts of Wayne County, heading toward the Burnside area of Pulaski County, but it is not as stout as what we were seeing a little bit ago. Doesn't mean that this thing won't pulse up again and start to spin, but if you're along Highway 90, now you need to be seeking that safe shelter immediately, and this storm is eventually going to roll its way right toward Burnside and the southern part of Pulaski County. If you're along Highway 27 here, watch out. That is heading in your direction. It may not have a tornado with this, but chances are it's going to have large hail and winds that can reach 60 miles per hour as it continues to race off to the northeast. Other severe thunderstorm warnings are out for numerous counties across southern and southeastern parts of Kentucky. So if you're watching me right now into areas of Pulaski County, into northern parts of McCreary County, and a part of Wayne County, just know you are currently under that severe thunderstorm warning that has now been upgraded to a tornado warning. That includes the Burnside area into the southern part of Pulaski County. So again, do me a solid down here. While this storm isn't exactly a textbook indicator of a tornado with this right now, the potential is certainly there. So if you're watching this in the areas we just outlined, seek that safe shelter. You got a basement, that's where you want to be. Interior room on the lowest floor. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as is possible. That is the key, is you give yourself a little added protection, right? Safety in numbers, yeah, it's more than just safety in numbers of people. It's safety in numbers of walls that are around you too. Protect your head. You see me break this out from time to time. This is a hard hat. I know you may think, I'm going to look silly. Who cares if it saves your life? Put on an old batting helmet. Put on an old hard hat that is sturdy, that would keep anything, flying debris, from potentially hitting the old noggin, because that is how most people are injured or, God forbid, die in a tornado. You never want anything to hit your head. You don't want anything to happen to you. But that's why we protect our head above all else. Baseball helmet, bicycle helmet is probably the most popular thing that I would imagine folks have lying around, would be the bicycle helmet. Safest place to be in that tornado is going to be the interior part of your home. You get there, you put as many walls between where you are and the outside. That would be a closet, the stairs, the hallway, the bathroom. It is all about that maximum protection from what you're dealing with compared to what the outdoors are dealing with, and what is outside of those walls. You never want to let your guard down during a possible tornado, and that's what we're seeing right now. Into Somerset, we got a camera down there. This is not going to pick up on a whole lot, I don't think, because the majority of this is going to be south of our camera, which is not wanting to show up right now because, you know what, of course. So let's go back to the radar picture and show you what we are dealing with on your First Alert Radar Network. So I'm going to gather my bearings, see what additional information we're getting out of these counties here into southern Kentucky, with what looks like a very photogenic shelf cloud into southern Kentucky. And we're going to continue to see this storm dropping large hail, high winds, even if it does not produce a tornado. New severe thunderstorm warnings are coming in with this part of the cell as well. So we got a host of counties that are under those tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, that are around the tornado warning. So this is what we're dealing with here. You got Somerset with a tornado warning, Burnside, far northern parts of McCreary County. Folks living along 27 here, connects Somerset and Whitley City. You want to be in that safe shelter right now. This storm is zipping its way very quickly through Monticello, through the Mill Springs area. 6:15, that tornado warning goes from McCreary, Pulaski, and Wayne counties, and it is right on top of Steubenville. This would be Mill Springs. This is 90 now. That goes from Burnside to Monticello. Got to keep a very close eye on this corridor. A lot of folks ask us sometimes when you see the white on the radar like this, what is that indicating? It's not snow. No, this is during severe weather, the radar showing us where it thinks the large hail is currently located. So with this particular storm, you're getting it on the worst of the hail from Mill Springs to Monticello, and then it is a quick drop-off behind that. Lightning is trying to intensify just a little more with this as well. That little